each investor has their own capabilities and styles. So we tend to be a lot more actively engaged with our businesses. So even when we are in a minority situation, one thing you got to fundamentally understand: typically we back first generation entrepreneurs. There are very few who will be second gen or large corporate groups, etc. So if it's a first gen entrepreneur, that means the person has never built a business bigger than what it actually is. So he has some sense of what the future holds for him, but he has never experienced it. So you got to think about it that you're bringing in a partner, and especially someone like us coming in, that we've had the breadth of seeing that happen across industries and across multiple businesses, right? So if you're a 50 crore or 100 crore business wanting to become 500 crore, complexity will increase, and that will mean that you need to build an organization which kind of becomes future proof. That's why we bring in a lot of that capability, whether it is, like Bala said, talent, whether it is managing cash flows, whether it is basically making sure what you do well and what you don't do well, and therefore how do you decide, how do you allocate time, those kind of things. I think the second thing is, most importantly, is that you have someone other than you are answerable to, and that we will try and install and manage some sort of a discipline in the process. That while you know it, like literally I had an entrepreneur who would have, at the end of every day, each of his branches sending an SMS to him in terms of what revenue they've generated, right? Now he said, boss, you're today at 25 branches, the plan is to go to 200. Are you going to get 200 SMSs a day? Right? You're going to go mad, right? So how do you think about those challenges, right? And how do you prepare for it? Because these are not things that you can think overnight and implement the next day. So a lot of that planning goes in, a lot of the thought process, prioritization. So a lot of those, so I would say, as you build out your strategic objectives, then you convert it into operational plans, and then you get into execution. That's where we would come in and play a very strong role besides you to help you, in many ways, take some of that heavy lifting off you to figure out who else needs to be doing that.
Operational excellence.
We have 200 people in our firm. So it's very different from most private equity firms. So we are slightly differently structured. The second question you had really in terms of...
Just to add, I think operationally, yes, they will have experts in supply chain, experts in marketing.
Yeah, all functional experts, and we may have even sectoral experts, which we may have in-house or we may outsource and bring to bear to you.
But that's not true of every firm.
Yeah,
They are an exception.
Yeah.
We have all of 6 people, not going to add. And our answer to most of the entrepreneurs who ask that question is, we value add to the extent that you allow us to. Your personality is also a very critical variable in the whole value addition thing, by the way. We have had people who think that we are too generalists, we are too much 20,000 feet to understand ground reality. So you'll have, practically speaking, it's very nice to say that we value add, but in reality, after being on the board of so many companies, I know that even in board meetings, the value addition that you get is essentially how much you draw out.